A message from an old coach. I've spent a lot of years around baseball diamonds. I've watched the sun come up over dew-covered outfields and sit behind the fences after long summer doubleheaders. I've coached teams that won championships, and I've coached teams that struggled to even score. And after all these years, I've learned something important. The most valuable thing a coach teaches has very little to do with baseball. Sure, we teach kids how to grip a baseball, how to turn a double play, and how to keep their eye on the pitch. Those things matter, but what matters more is what happens inside a young person's heart and mind while they're learning those skills. Every child who walks onto a baseball field carries something invisible. Some carry confidence. Some carry fear. Some are convinced they can accomplish anything, while others are quietly wondering if they're good enough to even be there. That's where a good coach comes in. A coach has the opportunity to help a young player believe in himself. Sometimes all it takes is a word of encouragement. Sometimes it's a pat on the back after a tough inning. Sometimes it's simply letting a child know that one mistake doesn't define who they are. You see, young players need to know that their failures aren't final. I've seen players stand taller because someone believed in them. It's obvious in the way they carry themselves. I've watched shy kids become leaders. I've watched kids who were afraid to swing the bat become players who wanted to be at the plate with the game on the line. Confidence is a powerful thing, and a good coach helps build it, one practice, one conversation, one opportunity at a time. But I've also learned the opposite is true. It's wonderful when a coach builds confidence, but it's heartbreaking when a coach destroys it. A careless comment, constant criticism, embarrassing a kid in front of the team, unrealistic expectations. Those things can leave scars that last far longer than a baseball season. A coach's words carry weight. Young players listen more closely than we realize. They remember what we say. Sometimes they carry those words for years. I've met grown men who still remember the coach who made them believe in themselves. I've also met grown men who still remember the coach who convinced them that they weren't good enough. That's a responsibility every coach must take seriously. Because when we're coaching young boys, we're dealing with more than players. We're helping shape future husbands, fathers, workers, leaders, and neighbors. The lessons they learn on the field often follow them into every corner of life. That's why I've never believed that wins and losses define success in youth baseball. The scoreboard tells you who scored more runs on that day, and that's all. Success is seeing a player improve. It's watching a child learn a skill they couldn't perform 3 months earlier. It's seeing teammates encourage one another instead of placing the blame. It's watching kids learn perseverance when things don't go their way. A successful season isn't always the one that ends with a trophy or a ring. Sometimes it's the season where a player finally gains confidence. Sometimes it's the season where a team learns how to work together. Sometimes it's the season where a child discovers they are capable of more than they ever imagined. As an old coach, I can honestly tell you that the trophies will eventually collect dust and probably be thrown away. The banners will fade, the scores forgotten. But the impact we have on young people, that remains. long after the final out is recorded, long after the uniforms are put away. Those players will remember how we treated them. They'll remember whether we built them up or tore them down. They'll remember whether we made them feel valued or made them feel small. My time as a coach in this great game is finished. I hope the players I've coached won't remember me because of how many games we won. I hope they remember that I believed in them. Because in youth baseball, that's the victory that truly lasts.